Hello, everyone. It's been quite a while. Forgive me, this is going to be extremely low quality set up for um, streaming and things. I hope that you can hear me. Hello, Randolph. Hello, Thomas. I'm back. Thanks for joining me. This is super quick. I literally last minute choosing to do a stream and go live. This is going to be super informal. This is not going to be anything like what um, you might be familiar with me doing. I haven't really made anything in like 5 years. I haven't done anything for tomorrow since 2018. And the last video I posted here on my channel was 2019. And it's been a rough road. Been a rough road for everybody, right? So yeah, today just wanted to hang out, have a little casual chat. There's been some crazy stuff that has happened this week and in the past several years. And yeah, kind of in the same situation I've always been, where hardly anyone to talk to about it. If you guys are still there, can you guys hear me okay? I mean, it's not great. I'm sure it's cool, good, great. Man, what a week it's been. Man, let's just talk about space for just a minute. What a week it's been. The fourth flight. Hello, Michael. Welcome. Fourth flight of SpaceX's Starship. And holy cow, they're making progress. They're making some real progress, man. I think they're getting pretty close. It's pretty crazy. I feel like I've missed the boat on all of the Starship updates and everything like that, but there has literally been such a wealth, minute to minute. You can watch live streams of Boca Chica Beach if you want. Oh my gosh, there's literally such a wealth of information that I don't even know what I would add to the conversation other than my enthusiasm and approval and getting into nitty gritty details, which I've proven myself wrong about many times in the past. But that's been part of the fun about all of it, is you learn so much from following this type of stuff. But yeah, they're super close with Starship. It is quite a shame that the Dear Moon mission program, let's call it, has gotten canceled. But I feel like there's a story to that we're not made aware of. My feeling, just my personal feeling, is I bet you that Ayazawa probably just was like, all right, it's been a while. This mission was supposed to already have happened last year. Like, space is hard and space is slow. This probably isn't going to happen for a bit. So I don't know, though. It could be a whole number of things. But it's awesome to see so much progress. It's awesome to see so much progress from a lot of the copycats around the world, like the Chinese ones, for example. It's really interesting to see the developments that have been going on with Tom Mueller. Yeah, it's been a crazy ride. I mean, since the last time that we talked about spaceflight on this channel, SpaceX has achieved so many of the things that we talked about. I mean, they've been able to reuse the same rockets multiple times, way more than what they ever estimated. They were able to get the Dragon spacecraft, Dragon V2, certified and delivered the first astronauts to space safely, and have already done several missions already to the International Space Station. And we'll talk about their competitor in a little bit. But it's just incredible. And it seems like it's week after week after week. It's either, it's always SpaceX. There's the biggest name in the game. And launching all of the Starlink satellites over the past several years, their entire fleet. I mean, just there's so much stuff just on the whole Starlink side of things that is crazy and amazing and innovative all in and of itself, and now controversial with everything going on in the world. So yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy times. It has been a whirlwind, not just for the space industry, but for the world, for everybody. You know, I don't know what the guidelines are nowadays. Was talking about the thing that we experienced since 2020. Um, I see a lot of YouTubers self-censoring themselves when they talk about that. So I don't know if a stream would automatically get shut down if I say a particular word, but you all know what I'm talking about. The sickness. Anyway, let me catch this up. Hi, Marcus. Good to see you too. Yeah, good point. Maezawa losing half his wealth might have had something to do with it. He might need that money. Probably needs that money back. Probably lost it on commercial real estate or something like that. Hello, Daniel. Sorry so much for shaking. I'm literally on a webcam and just a built-in microphone. It's going to be a long time before I ever get to even close to a quality level that I used to be, which now is low quality compared to a lot of YouTube videos out there. But whatever, just freaking do it. Freaking do it. That's the thing I've been holding myself back from for the long time. Whatever, just do it. Let's talk about stuff that's going on, and not just space stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, a lot of different subjects, but we'll talk about this for now. Oh man, Miko, remember when we used to doubt whether reused rockets were viable? Now launching on an unproven rocket seems the risky option. Right? Yeah, everything has changed and it's awesome. And we're still in like the birthing pains of things. But I love that SpaceX isn't going after any of the copycats in China or Europe or anywhere else that is copying and pasting their idea. It's like, yeah, do it. It's hard. It is hard as hell. If you can do it, congrats to you. And maybe we can collaborate in the future if you get close to our level. Like that's awesome. Yes, let's all do it. Everyone copy this. Everyone, all you people out there who had the ideas for the Falcon 3 and Falcon 5 and even the hypothetical Falcon 7, do that. Do that. I mean, that's basically what Tom Mueller's doing right now. He's doing the things that he wanted to do for those steps leading up to Falcon 9. And I think that's amazing. Grubby, oh my God, hello. Thank you, Thomas. Yeah, it's not the video or audio that really matters. It's the content. And yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see. The number of launches going up must bring insurance down since there are more people paying in than are getting reimbursed for a failed launch. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. I feel like there's still so much like weird BS, and I honestly don't know what that world is like now. I was only just starting to learn about like all the insurance programs for the satellites, like only in like 2015, and looking into that and who runs that. And there's been a handful of things that once I started learning about it, there were a handful of failed missions that started looking suspicious, but I don't want to get into that right now. You would think though that is true. You'd think that the insurance premiums have gone down. I feel like it depends a lot. And at the same time, like even the other vehicles other than Falcon 9 are either still in some sort of like development proving stage or switched to new engines, even though it might have been an established rocket, kind of switched to new engines, so it might as well have been a new rocket. So like Antares, and that's a whole thing in and of itself. Orbital ATK ain't Orbital ATK anymore. They're Northrop Grumman, and Northrop Grumman doesn't really seem to be interested in being innovative and doing cool shit with the huge inventory that they have. They have such a huge inventory. They could do some crazy stuff. It's a lot, but they're more interested in the weapons side of things and that side of their business. So I'm not sure why they even acquired Orbital ATK. It must have had something to do with hypersonics and a lot of their massive inventory of solid rockets and how those can, because all ICBMs, all MRBMs, I mean, all rockets are weaponized. So any space rated rockets can still be weaponized, even the really small ones. Um, like star upper stages, solid rocket upper stages, those can be weaponized, even on other types of guided missiles, things that you wouldn't even expect. Like it's not built for atmosphere. This is built for vacuum, but they're going to use it in an atmosphere anyway, and it might still work for whatever BS purposes. I mean, an upper stage, a solid rocket motor upper stage might not even need to be like used. That might be the payload for a type of weapon. But anyway, that's another rabbit hole we maybe shouldn't go down right now. Holy cow, there's 13 people watching. I didn't even notice. Hello, everyone. Yeah, welcome. But yeah, anyway, I'm going off on a tangent there. Let's see. Grubby, can you please tell us about a recent launch? Let's talk about Boeing finally launching Starliner on Atlas V, which had to be human rated in order for this mission to occur, even though it was an established rocket. So, whole new certification process that costs millions. Finally got off the ground with astronauts on board. And I mean, if you guys have been following the space industry, you probably already know better than me that they've had so many problems and delays and just laughable issues. And now all this stuff's coming out with even just their regular aerospace side of things, Boeing. But in any case, it finally launched. They detected several leaks beforehand and determined that they weren't a problem. Launched anyway. Detected more leaks once they were on orbit, and well, I guess one, maybe more of the RCS thrusters failed when they were attempting to do the automated robotic docking to the International Space Station, and that didn't work, so they had to back up into a safe zone. Apparently, they figured out the problem. Looks like at least one thruster was still down. I don't know what direction that thruster was, so it might not have necessarily mattered for that maneuver, but I'm not sure. But in any case, they were able to safely dock, and they're going to be there for a week, 14 days before they come back on the same vehicle. Mission's not over, but this is a milestone in this mission with astronauts on board, and there's a lot riding on this, and I hope that everything goes well. Let's put it that way. Man, there's so many launches that have happened that unless you guys want me to talk about one in particular, I'm just gonna keep going off on tangents, because what this stream is, if you're just joining, is just a casual stream. Let's just talk. Let's just hang out. Wanted to talk about space a little bit. Wanted to talk about where the hell I've been for the past 5 years. Wanted to talk about a whole bunch of things. I'm feeling very tangent-y right now. Let's see. Daniel Newcomb, what have I been doing for the last decade? Well, we'll get into that. That's an answer. Let me before I get into that, let me just read a couple more comments here. Lack of development of reusable systems from space companies other than SpaceX astounds me. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit. Like I said, there's some stuff in China. There's a little bit of stuff in Europe, but so much of it is still in the development phase. It only looks like the Chinese company that is really making progress. And that all could be fake. That who knows? If what they're presenting is true and we can take it at face value, then that one Chinese company is might be making some progress. Yeah, I'm surprised NASA let them dock with all the leaks as well, but Boeing's the baby. Remember, this entire time, this program has been going on for quite some time. It's from the success of the commercial cargo program, and for this entire commercial crew program, down selecting to just these two, SpaceX and Boeing. This entire time, NASA has awarded Boeing twice I think it's actually closer to triple as much money as they gave SpaceX with their whole milestone model to freaking get there. Way more much mo way more money to develop Starliner than to develop Dragon for astronauts on board. And the missions themselves, if when they get to operational stage, are still more expensive than the flat, operational mission for delivering crew and doing the 6 months, plus or minus. And they've been getting special treatment, preferential treatment this whole time, and we can go into why that is. But yeah, I'm not. I am surprised that they allowed that because they're normally super like anal about the safety and everything, especially when it comes to the space station. But yeah, I don't know. Probably more of a story to that too. They did kinda fix the issues. Like I take that with a grain of salt. I don't even know what that means. Um, yeah, I liked the good old days too, Grubby. We were really getting on something good there with the launch coverage. 2017, 2018. That was like to me like when we really dialed that in. We brought in the launch minute. That was my favorite. Doing the launch minute was so cool. And I'm gonna try to reach out to them if I ever get to the point where I have the time to do this sort of thing again. And I would definitely do a launch minute, and you know maybe not use the reuse the assets, but reuse the name as long as Jamie and the rest of the Tomorrow crew don't have a problem with that. But I'm not at a level to do that right now. um, not as good as it was anyway. Uh, but maybe we can get that going again. Let's see. Phil, hello Phil, nice to see you. Channel is one of the few with history dating back to the start of the commercial crew program. That is true. It's been so awesome to go back and watch those over the years to see the early days to where we are. Yeah, I mean, I've been here since the beginning of absolutely beginning of commercial crew. I started like posting videos like right after like the early stages of commercial cargo. Hang on for just 1 minute, excuse me. Yeah. Sorry, just I didn't even tell anybody I was going to start streaming. I just turned it on, so I was just letting somebody know that, letting my wife know that I was streaming right now. We're not, that's a story too. We're not technically married yet, but we might as well be. We're definitely each other's ride or die. But thank you, Phil. Thank you. I appreciate that. And it's definitely been interesting to see what's happened and everything that's gone on over the past decade. I mean, really, probably been following this now really closely for 15 years. Because it was really like 2008, 2009 that I really started doing my own research. And I had a job at the time where I could, get on space.com and NASA Spaceflight and learn about all this stuff. Yeah. Looking at it though, I mean, it seemed fine. MECO 1, yeah, going back to the Starliner docking, just watching the video, it seemed fine. I just, I can't help but be critical to Boeing. And honestly, like compared to the last time that you guys have seen me, I actually have become a lot more critical of SpaceX, but maybe not in the ways that you would think of, but not in a bad way, just in constructive ways. I'm just, you know, giving myself that suspension of disbelief and really trying to play devil's advocate on all angles whenever I research something. Jennifer, hello, good to see you. Bill, Brandenburg, good to see you too. As long as Boeing doesn't make the space station do backflips like Russia has a habit. Why not? Well, yeah, actually. When it's an uncontrolled backflip, that's bad. Oh shit! Did I say Ben? I didn't mean Ben. I meant Jamie. You're right. It's still hard for me, and to be honest, I haven't talked with hardly anyone. I haven't talked to Jamie or Carrie Ann um, since I left tomorrow. The Fly, are you back? Maybe, kinda. I mean, if you guys are down with me doing little streams like this, we've got a couple. We got like 15 of you in the stream right now, and yeah, um, I did want to. I have some ideas, and I want to kind of maybe start doing something a little new and open things up, and maybe just like a old school radio program where we have people who call in, so to speak. We've got technology now. Like I can just create a Zoom call and give people the invite. Not everybody, but once if you have a question or if it's something that we want to talk about, like honestly, I miss the old days of YouTube. Does anyone here remember the old days of YouTube where people had like a community and they had whole episodes that were just questions and answers and responding to people's comments and then encouraging people to make response videos. Do you remember response videos back in like the late 2000s where people would make response videos to just some dumb YouTube video that somebody put out? Kind of similar to the way that people do on TikTok now. They do these what do they call it? Stitches, and it just can go indefinitely. And I miss those days, and I kind of want to bring them back here on YouTube. Maybe for nothing else other than just our little space community. But I really, really miss those days, and I honestly want to know more from you guys. I want to know about you. I want to know, what you're up to. What are you doing? Like, do any of us like are any of us nearby each other? Could some of us potentially be connected and be real life friends? Even if I'm not near somebody, you might be near to, another viewer and you guys have similar interests, maybe even similar hobbies outside of space stuff, but you know what I mean? So it's just an inkling of an idea. So it's just a few ideas that I have, but if you guys are okay with me just doing some, whatever uh type of streams, low quality streams, then yeah, maybe I am back. And uh I don't have any of my equipment. I'm not even in my home in Arizona. I'm not in the mythical land of Arizona right now. I'm actually in Ohio of all places. But it's been a journey. It's been a journey over the past couple of years. Um, but yeah, I miss this, and I want to do this sort of thing again, maybe in a different way, and honestly, in a more casual way. Because something that has really prevented me, especially back in 2019 and 2020, from putting out videos, was I made it harder on myself to make videos. I started doing things in a not so streamlined way because I wanted it to be perfect. I want to get the perfect edit of the source material of all the different video of launches and dockings and all that type of stuff, and make sure I get the sources and the links for it. And, you know, I don't know. I made it hard on myself, and I got to a point where I didn't used to have any trouble really getting on camera and talking about it. I could write up. I wouldn't even write scripts. Like I didn't write scripts until the end. For most of the time between 2010 when I started making videos until probably somewhere around the time that we started making space pods on Tomorrow, which was like 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. That's when I really started making scripts. And especially for some of the live shows with Dutta, I couldn't just be talking. And if there were specific images that I wanted to be shown about the thing that I was talking about, that little subcomponent of a thing that I was talking about, I wanted to make sure I had that and that it would come on screen at an appropriate time. And unless I like really had good fine-tuned bullet points and use this image when we start talking about this thing. Here's the keywords to look out for, because it wasn't scripted. It was a live show, but we did have bullet points. We're going to talk about this launch now. We're going to talk about this launch now. Here is the relevant information that we might not have memorized. The time, the dates, the specific payload, what the apogee and perigee might have been, all that type of stuff. But yeah, it's I don't even know where I was going with that, but yeah, if you guys are okay with me doing like low quality stuff for a while until I can get back up to speed, then yeah. And I can't really make any promises right now, and most of that has to do with time and money. But I don't want to get into that right now. Let's talk about fun stuff. I still have to answer your question. Let's see here before I do. Hi, Headcrab. Welcome. Yeah, I remember those days. We did have some great interviews. I was recently going back through some of them, and a lot of them I'd never actually watched. I never went back and rewatched the live shows unless there was something specific. Oh, hey, you made this mistake right here. Did I? And go back to that specific part. Oh, yeah, I guess we did. So going back, especially years later with hindsight and everything, there were some damn good interviews that we did. Plenty of room to start your own coverage. I won't be following tomorrow. Now, just because if you don't want to follow them, that's your own thing. But just because I'm doing something here doesn't mean that you have to. There isn't any sides or anything like that. I'm still firmly one of those believers that all ships rise with the tide, and I hope that there is plenty of room for everyone, including a lot of the new people who have started doing space coverage on YouTube. Some of them are really, really freaking good. Have you guys seen Dong Zhou Hour? That guy, actually, it's not Dong Zhou. It's the Dong Feng Hour. Excuse me, Dong Feng Hour. He is so freaking good about the coverage of all things China, everything that's going on with the Chinese space program, and I'm pretty sure he's nailing all the pronunciations of stuff. And there's been things that I've watched on him that are just like, oh, I think I've been saying that wrong this entire friggin' time. But yeah, he is awesome and excellent for all the Chinese stuff if you haven't seen him. And there's a lot of new guys too. I can't really think of anyone else off the top of my head, but it's great. And I like to see that there is more interest into more stuff. And that's kind of been another reason why I haven't the lies that I've told myself to not make videos is that yeah, but there's plenty of new people out there, and the bases are covered. But there were a lot of things that I used to talk about that that I don't really see, at least not in the algorithms that I'm being exposed to of English speaking markets, let's say. So anyway. Yeah, I should do just do the weekly launch minute. Just a minute for each launch. Seki, oh my God, that's a name I recognize. Hi, Seki, how you doing, buddy? Yes, so good to see you too. The mythical land of Ohio. Yep. Oh, Mike Konyansik. Obviously, that's some sort of Polish Slavic last name. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Sorry. But you're in Ohio too, huh? We might have to be buddies. We'll have to plan some sort of public meetup somewhere. Like, guys, I know that I haven't done anything in years, but if anyone ever wants to do a public meetup, like at a public park or a public place, I'm always so down. Library, whatever. I am so down. It'd be awesome to start up like a space club somewhere. If there's anyone in like the Northeast, like Mike, if you're in Northeast Ohio, Cleveland, Akron, Medina, whatever, I'll pronounce some of the names here weird. Then yeah, it'd be fun to start like a space club, like a meetup, like a monthly meetup group, something. Terrence Shepard. Holy cow. Yeah, Ron and Denise do too. God, man, I feel terrible. I pretty much ghosted them for no reason. For no reason. Yeah, I agree, Grubby. Grubby, I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. I feel like it's Grubby. Moon Square. The days with Sarah, Athena, Lisi, and TV. Leaser. Her name is Leaser. TV Mike were good. Well, Jamie may have seemed too obsessed with making the show better. Maybe, but that's not a bad thing. I don't know. We just there's a lot of things we can talk about that if you want, but yeah. Hold on, just a minute here. Let me catch up with you guys. I'm surprised there's so many of you in here and talking. NFO guides, hello, welcome. Oh yeah, we're scheduled for the middle of the night. Shoot. Seki, you're still in the UK, right? So you good right now? Is this not super late? This is super late. If this is like 1 a.m. for you, bro, it's all good. But yeah. Oh, thank you, NFO guides. I appreciate that. Low quality Spacemike is better than no Spacemike. Thank you. I appreciate that. These want to complain about me putting them under a microphone. Genuine enthusiasm does not need flashy production values. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. And that's something that I feel is missing from a lot of things. That genuine enthusiasm just doesn't translate. Or yeah. For me, it was never about subscriber wars with Everyday Astronaut. Nowhere else had casual interviews and after darks with Peter Beck and many others. Yeah, absolutely. It was never about that. You know, Tomorrow started as a community. I mean, I joined them because it was a community. I started off just as one of the people chatting in their live chat rooms. Eventually made a YouTube video myself. Back in the day, back when they were Space Vidcast, they used to have this Google Drive sheet that was like a list of news articles and stories and topics, recent news or just kind of general evergreen topics. And they would try to cover as, a lot of stuff on that list. And they would, it was always their show and they always wanted to talk about what they wanted. So I'm sure they cherry picked things on that list that they hadn't already seen themselves in the news that they wanted to talk about. And there was something on that list that week after week after week they never talked about, and I wasn't asking for it either. Like, I don't remember anyone really like asking them or bugging them about it in chat to, hey, talk about this, talk about the Nautilus X. But I saw that and was like, this is interesting as hell, and I'm just gonna do my own YouTube video about it. Back on literally like a Windows 98 computer with whatever freaking Windows movie maker was on there at the time is what I made my like first YouTube videos on. And I had Windows XP for my work computer, but anyway, whatever. Life has been a journey. Life has been a journey. But yeah, I miss the community aspect that Tomorrow and back in Space Vidcast, and I would love to bring that back. I would love to start seeing stuff from you guys, and I want to bring. I would love to bring back some people. I would love to do videos with Athena again. I would love to do videos with Jared again. I would even love to do videos with Jamie again. I really would love to do videos with Carrie Ann. I miss Carrie Ann, and I hope that she's okay. And I think that if I just reached out to them, then um, oh, I'm sorry, Seki. If I'd looked a little closer, I would have seen that New Zealand. Okay, so you're good. You're good. It's not bedtime for you. Cool. Um, yeah, Nautilus X. Some of you guys remember that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Holy shit. NFO guides. You're in Lower Michigan, South Haven. Hey, that's not too far. I mean, I couldn't expect you to make a drive for a monthly meetup, but you know, a once off or something, or if I ever find myself in your neck of the woods. Hmm. Yo, you hit the Akron Zoo several times a year. I mean, I don't think you're supposed to do this. You're not supposed to give personal details, but whatever. I'm like right near Akron. I'm not in Akron, but I'm in this weird like triple zone. I'm in Granger, Medina, Summit County, Fairlawn, and Copley all at the same time. And all the neighbors on the same street have a different city as their address, even though we're all on the same street. It's one of those type of weird situations. Ohio is weird, bro. Oh my god. But anyway, that's interesting, NFO guys. I need to start writing this down so that I can follow up with y'all because I'm for real. I want to bring back the community, and I want to know about you guys. And I would love to see response videos. Like we need to. I don't know where to do this or how we're going to do it yet. Maybe just like with a Google Drive or something. But it would be. I think it'd be really dope to get like anyone who's willing to get on camera. And if you're not willing to show your face, cool. Don't show your face. Pull up a picture of your favorite rocket, your favorite spaceship, whatever, something space related. It doesn't even have to be. Just pull up a picture of anything. I don't care if it's even just a technical difficulty screen or just a black bar, and record audio. I would love to put a voice to a name, put a face to name, even if you do some freaking Google AI deepfake thing, like avatar thing, like whatever. But I would really love to kind of bring that back and get us all talking to each other. And anyway, I'm going off on another tangent there. Holy crap, we have a ton of Michaels in here right now. Hello, Michael Tarada. I'm Tarota. Yes. Oh man, Grubby. All right, Grubby. Just Grubby. That makes it a lot easier. All right, so Mike, you are here in Ohio. Excuse me. So this computer that I'm on, instead of having the webcam in the traditional spot at the top of the screen, it's like right at the bottom, right next to the keys. Like my this is where the keyboard is. Sorry for that weird freaking hand grab at you just now, but um, so this is what I got. This is what I'm working with right now. So it's that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. NFO guides. You are in Lower Michigan. If you don't know what I am talking about, I would love to do a public meetup. I would love to start a space club or something. Um, you are in Lower Michigan. I am currently in Ohio. That may or may not change. I'm actually in a really weird situation. Um, but even if that does change, I would still be coming back to this area. So if nothing else, like it'd be cool to maybe do just a once off. Even if there's only like 2 or 3 of us, then screw it. Let's just go to a bar or something like that. I would love that. And if you're okay with it, I would like to film some of it and let everyone know, hey, we're space nerds and we can have fun too. Oh man, that's cool. That is so cool. Okay, you can make a meetup in Northern Ohio. Yes, yes, I did love, dude. These shots on this fourth flight and third flight of Starship when they're re-entering the atmosphere, I never thought that I would ever see a real live video of reentry plasma. That shit is crazy. I remember too. I can't believe that you guys remember that. Oh man. By the way, Seki, where are you in New Zealand? Are you actually in like the northern part, um, near their launch site? Oh my god, I am spacing on the name of that. Oh my god, what is the name of that freaking launch site? So the other thing of me not being at the game is there's a couple of details that I forgot. Oh, just Mahia. Why did I think it was more than that? Mahia Peninsula. Weird. So yeah, there's going to be a handful of things that I might have been an expert on in the past that I'm just going to need to remind myself, refresh myself on things like that. Yeah, that's those were start of really. Those are some amazing shots of the reentry plasma. Michael Tarota, thank you very much. Yeah, Model 6. We'd need a ton of money, but we could still make it happen. Like, I would love to see, like, we could still make Nautilus X pretty much exactly how it was and just replace the front command module with a starship. Or at least the orbital section of a starship. Spaceship, that's what they call it now. I hate how they changed and just stick to something, guys. You know, I was really excited there with when they were using Block 5 and using blocks as terms because that's big in Soviet Russia, and then they don't do it. So I wish that they had stuck to just stick to some sort of system. Pick a system and stick to it so I don't have to freaking figure out what you're talking about every time that you change the name. Thank you from all of us. Dear SpaceX, from all of us. Stick to a naming system, please. Yeah, KSP. What craziness going on with KSP too? All right, I need to start. We'll talk about KSP in a little bit. I'm gonna write that down because we have some other things to talk about first. Yeah. Oh, Miko, if you might, okay, you might have already gone, but take care, buddy. Thank you. So good to see you. And I hope to see you again. And if you are still here, I'm serious. Think about this for a minute. If you're down, please record a 60-minute, not 60-minute, 60-second, a 1 minute audio or video and audio. If you're down, just introducing yourself. Maybe quick, when did you get interested? What year did you get interested in space flight? And what's your favorite rocket? Let's start there. Tell us who you are. Hi, I'm Miko One. I got into space flight in the year, and then tell us what your favorite rocket is. So, and the rest of you that are still here, if you are down to do that as well, then please do that. And I will create a Google Drive where you can drop it into. Hopefully 60 seconds. That shouldn't be too big of a file. So we should be able to drop it into any old free Google Drive or something like that. And I'll make that private. Well, maybe not. No, it doesn't matter. But we'll figure out. We'll figure it out. If you guys have better suggestions, we'll come up with a better way to do this. Maybe just email it to me directly. Here is a business email I don't mind giving out: futurespacemike@gmail.com. I finally got a good one. Yeah, Future Spacemike, FutureSpacemike, all one word, @gmail.com. Send it to me there. And I would love to be reintroduced to everybody. And I hope that with your consent, once I have more of a plan, we can start up a community again. And I really want to have a chat, and I would think it would be awesome to have you guys call in for a minute. Oh, dude, Seki, you're going to Tanagashima in August? Not just for a launch, hopefully for a launch too, but just for a visit. That's so cool. That is dope. Oh man. Mike's Space Camp, Christchurch, South. Okay, so you are in Christchurch, South Island. Okay. Yeah, and Mahia Peninsula is in the North Islands. That's cool. I wonder how what your view is like, if any. Because I'm not gonna lie, times in Arizona, there was only like maybe 2 or 3 times where I saw one of the launches from Vandenberg Air Force Base, which is in Northern California, North California, Middle California, whatever you want to call that, on the coast for their polar launches. Um, but there were other polar launches, even on totally clear nights, never saw anything. So who knows? That's super cool. That's super cool, Seki. Take pictures of your Tanagashima visit. That would be awesome. And that's the type of thing that I'm talking about. I'm sure the community would love to see some of your pics from Tanagashima, even if you can't get close, even if you can't take like a public tour or anything like that. And if you do get a launch, yeah, see if you can get into one of those like watch party groups or something that does the countdown. Anyway, that's super cool, and I hope that I see your pictures from that. Yeah, I wish other companies had better video too. And I feel like a lot of that is Jamie Higginbotham. I mean, that's what she's still doing, right? Still doing the all the video stuff. Oh man, I honestly didn't. There's only a handful of us here right now, but I honestly didn't expect this. So sorry for being unprepared. Michael Torado, you did one appearance on Tomorrow for New Year's one year. Was that wasn't the one, the Ultima Thule thing, was it? Launch Site 1. You're right, it is Launch Site 1 at the Bahia Peninsula. Yeah, Starship reentry, that's next level. Tried in Kerbal, never quite got it. Oh man, that's okay. I think it took me quite a while to get into orbit for the first time, and then it took me quite a while to land on the moon for the first time, and it took me forever to do docking for the first time. And I was like, bro, this is harder. This is harder than landing on the moon. You're telling me that building the International Space Station is harder than landing on the moon? And yeah, it is. It's way harder. Holy shit. Oh man. Kerbal, man. So they had this other. So the original guys who started Kerbal, they got bought out by Squad, the original team from Mexico in Mexico City. They got bought out by Squad, and everyone got pushed out except for like one final guy. And then KSP2 and the studio is getting closed, or they're trying to sell it to somebody who's willing to continue development, and it looks like it's probably never going to come out. So for those of you who do still play Kerbal Space Program, back to KSP1. But at least we haven't had updates in a while, so all the mods, anyone who's still updating mods, should finally be freaking stable if you ever want to get back into it. I honestly haven't played in quite some time. I haven't had the time. Oh shit, to fly is giving us coordinates and everything. Oh, down in Christchurch. That was the original site for LC1. Interesting. Interesting. I'm sure Peter Beck probably told that story, or at least a part of that story. Cliff Notes version of that story. Maybe he might not have ever told that story. Because I honestly don't remember that, but it's always a hurdle for everybody to get things signed up. Head crab, you've got high hopes for Blue. Cool, cool. Yeah, we can talk about Blue Origin for a minute. It's actually quite crazy. Some of the pictures that I'm finally starting to see look pretty good. Looks like some of their hardware is actually looking pretty good. So I'm kind of excited for whenever new blend launches. The BE4s, have seemed to work out great. That test flight of Vulcan, that went great. So yeah, yeah, I'm really excited for how this goes. Something crazy is a dude that I went to high school with, who was like, I don't know if I can't remember if he was one grade ahead of me or if he was 2 grades ahead of me. And this is a small school. It was a charter school, so there was only like 350 kids for seventh grade, junior high, middle school, whatever you want to call that, all the way through 12th grade. So you had 13-year-olds up to 17, 18-year-olds going to this school. And this guy now works for Blue Origin, and obviously he can't talk about what he does or anything like that, aside from maybe his job title. But I couldn't help when he made his little announcement on Facebook or whatever. I'm just like, dude, like holy cow! And he didn't know that I was into all this space stuff, and then he found my YouTube channel and was like, "Should I ask you some questions? Because I don't have anybody to like talk to about this, and I don't want to look dumb in front of people at work." I'm like, no, that's the wrong attitude. Look dumb. Ask as many questions as you can. You're the one building it. Get it right. And if anything goes wrong, I'm blaming you personally. No. But that blew my mind. So yeah, I have a friend who works there now, and I don't know why I'm feel like bragging about that. It's not like oh, I know somebody who knows somebody. Like it makes me feel like I feel proud of him. Not that he's got this, awesome job, but just like, dude, you're building stuff that's going to space. You're building the future. Like, so proud of you, man. That's how I feel about it. Aerospace community in New Zealand, especially Canterbury, very strong. Get a visit from NASA director and deputy. I'm assuming you mean deputy director last year. Cool. That's another thing. I need to talk about that guy. He did good first hander. He seems to be all right, but he also seems to be, keeping the same. I think he forgot that he's not a senator anymore. I think he forgot that he's no longer getting bribes from Boeing and Lockheed Martin, and he's still behaving as if he is getting bribes from Lockheed Martin and Boeing and Northrop Grumman. But I don't know. Maybe he still is getting bribes from them. Who knows? There's corruption everywhere. Renee Ramden, Spacemike, so glad to see you. I was wondering when you'd be back. Good to see you. Good to see you too. Thank you. Step by step, ferociously. That's right. That's right. Man. I really hope the Blue Origin does all the shit that they say that they're going to do. I hope that they launch their own version of Starlink and that they start doing, the full reusability, and they do it on a fancy looking yacht and not just a. Nothing wrong with those old girls that SpaceX is using. What am I talking about? They're not even that old. Not even that old. Oh man. But yeah, I hope that more and more stuff happens. Like I literally hope that everyone who's working on space stuff and rocket stuff succeeds. Literally everyone. Like even with the state of the world, like I'm still rooting for Iran. Like and I'm still like whenever stuff does come out, which isn't very often, I'm still interested to see what's coming out of North Korea and how they're, making applications for things. Their shit's so obvious though. It's just like, oh no, that's for a warhead, and then oh no, that's for an actual like real reentry capsule. Interesting. What you working on, North Korea? But then again, that's the thing. Like those images that look like they are working on some sort of like decent reentry capsule, like it doesn't seem like that's. Well, it all could be coming through the propaganda pipeline, but it doesn't seem like that is. I don't know what they're working on. Thomas Bueno, did they sell this fancy ship? I don't know. I honestly have not been following it. because it's been so slow. And I just was excited that how crazy is it that Blue won the suborbital tourism race? Virgin Galactic's, you know, if gosh, Virgin Galactic is Virgin Galactic, and you never know from 1 month to the next if they're going to liquidate, or if they're going to go bankrupt, or if they're going to sell somebody, or if things are never been better, and the flight was is going to happen next week. You just never know with them. Yeah, and you know what? That's something too that so we all have Jamie to thank, Jamie Higginbotham, for some of the amazing views that we've gotten from SpaceX for their live streams and just photos that they put out to the public. We really do have her to thank for a lot of that. Um, there was even some behind the scenes stuff that he talked with me about. She talked with me about, excuse me, back when he was a he, back when she was a he. God damn it. I'm sorry. I am tired. I'm tired. So forgive me. Um, Stuff that she told me about that I can't really repeat, but that let me know that, oh, that awesome shot was your idea, and you've really been pushing hard for this kind of artistic, cinematic type of thing and shots. Power to you. Keep going. Keep more of that. And some stepped up. Like honestly, United Launch Alliance did kind of step up. You know, partially on their live cameras, but also for like their overlay graphics and things like that. Um, Rocket Lab, I feel like has just as good of quality to SpaceX live streams for what they for what they have. It'd be cool to see more. Um, it'd still be just like it'd be cool to see more of the in space stuff, and especially if for like the ride share missions on that fancy upper stage that they have. But they're just as good as SpaceX in terms of their live cameras and stuff. A lot of NASA stuff is good, and a lot of Russian stuff is really fucking good. They have the best camera views from the International Space Station. They just do. NASA still, it's 2024, and NASA still doesn't have as good at camera views. It makes me mad. Although, full disclosure, I don't watch that stuff nearly as often as I do. It really just every once in a while pulling up the sped up videos. All right, let's see here. Dibs on the space plane. Grubby's gonna buy Virgin Galactic. Here's a question for you to ponder live on a SpaceX fairing reentry. Okay, if an astronaut in a suit were to be strapped into the fairing nice and tight, could they survive all the way to splashdown? I mean, in theory, yeah. As long as it doesn't flip. Like, here's the thing. For where they're jettisoning at the level of flight and the level of atmosphere that they're jettisoning the payload fairing, yeah, still a lot of friction. Yeah, still a lot of heat. Maybe not as much as a reentry from a 500-kilometer orbit, or even a reentry from the moon, but still a lot. Could still kill you, even in a Iron Man suit. I don't know. I honestly don't pay attention to how much those things are flipping around. So you might have to come up with like a weird ballast system. So whatever systems to strap you in and you yourself, I mean, you're adding weight to the flight. And unless it's something like a Falcon 9 flight where they're only using like 30-40% of its payload capacity. And I see those sometimes. I'm like, you couldn't get anyone else to do a ride share on this, but that's okay. That's okay. You're still making money, still reusing it, and it's all good. It's all good. But anyway, I see those types of things sometimes. I'm like, man, we could have snuck somebody else on there. You could survive, but it'd be that thing of doing a mission like that. That would be pretty dope, though. How dope would it be, though, if you were like strapped in sideways and you get all the crazy vibrations from launch, and then the payload jettisons, you start doing, backflips, or at least one good push, away from the rocket. And then how cool would it be if whatever you're like strapped into, and again, more weight and more ridiculousness as to why no one would ever do this, that would like sit you up so that you could then like surf. And maybe that would be like the gimmick, is maybe like you had like straps or something that could be like some really quick inflatable flaps or something like that, so that you could somewhat steer this freaking payload ferry that you're silver surfering back into somewhere. That would be fun. That would be for like a hardcore adrenaline junkie. That would be fun. That would be hardcore. Oh man. Jamie and Carrie Ann are good people, and I miss them. You know who I would love to work with as well? Ryan, my replacement. What do you guys think of him? Because I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Well, I have not watched all of Tomorrow since I left. I've hardly watched any, to be completely honest with you. Um, and saw a couple of episodes. It might have just even been like segments, um, with Ryan when around the time that he first started, and I thought he was a little rough, but I could see something. I could see the potential. I could see his potential, and now he's good. He's good. Like, I almost don't want to talk about SpaceX because he does a really good job. I think that he does an excellent job. We're different people. You know, he didn't replace me, so to speak, because they're not doing the same things that we were doing back then. And I honestly I hope that I feel bad. I've never talked with him other than like a quick Twitter exchange or something like that. Um, and I would like to just interview Ryan and talk with him and see what his experience has been like on Tomorrow and now for NASA space flight. That is awesome. Congratulations to him. Um, you don't like him but biased towards you. Well, that's okay. That's your personal opinion. I like him and I would like to work with him, and I feel terrible for him. Like, I really hope that, and I'm sure that he has. I mean, just reading comments on some of their videos, has been like the worst thing I would want to say to him. And it seems to me like he's had a lot of pressure, a lot of freaking pressure to be me, or to be some sort of unrealistic expectation. And to be honest, like watching some of their latest stuff, and I even was able to catch a live show. I don't even remember how long ago this was. It might have been a month ago, might have been a month and a half ago. And it was fun. It was fun to be in the live chat again and see some familiar screen names, see some familiar changes or familiar faces. What changes has happened? But it's also kind of sad that it's just a Zoom call now. That studio is no more, and it's just Jamie, Jared, Ryan, and Dutta. And I miss Carrie Ann, and I miss Athena, and I miss Sarah. I miss Sarah Vincent. I hope that she's doing well. I don't know if she's in Boston or if she's back in LA, but I really hope that something can take off for her, for all of us. Honestly, I hope everyone can be successful and make lots of money. I hope everyone becomes filthy rich, all of you too, and that we all can do the things that we actually want to do in our lives. And that we don't have to worry and stress about those sort of things, which is definitely what I've been doing over the past 5 years. Oh man. But Garen's flight was a parachute return, but only from 8,200 feet. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, I miss what the show used to be, and I do want to bring back some things, and also do try out some of my ideas because I want to do casual stuff. I want to do casual stuff like this. I miss Jade too. Oh my god, I can't believe yeah, I miss Jade. Jade Kim was awesome. Jade was Jade is the like for sure YouTube personality. Like I'm surprised that she hasn't blown up in something else. And I honestly have no idea what she's doing. I haven't spoken to her either since I left. I spoke to Jared briefly. I think over a DM or just text message when his father died. And if you're watching, or if you see this later, still my condolences. I'm glad that you seem to be doing well. But yeah, there is still a tomorrow, apparently, yeah. So I guess, damn, how long have I been on here for? I've been on here for an hour. And I still haven't talked about where the hell I've been for the past 5 years. Um, and we only talked about a handful of space stuff. And I don't know, just this week has been crazy. You know, we have Starship test launch number 4. The next evolution far beyond the commercial crew program. And Boeing is barely still doing their freaking certification flights. This is still just the test flight, guys. They aren't going to be starting up their official missions yet. And I really hope everything goes smoothly for the next half of it. Oh, man. Usually now watch Felix, Ellie in space, and Marcus House. Yeah, they're all good. Hope you get back on the horse, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, it was the best when it had carry on. All right, how about this? No, Grubby, I haven't said where I've been for the past 5 years. I need to take just a quick bathroom break, and when I come back, I'll jump into that. Hope you don't mind. Streamers do this all the time, right? I will be right back. Please talk amongst yourselves, and I will catch up. And yeah, I'll tell you Cliff Notes version of where I've been for the past 5 years. I better mute this too, real quick, just in case. real quick. Excuse me for one more moment. I'm gonna go grab a drink of water. Okay. A few moments later. Yeah, ain't that funny? Complete the whole commercial crew contract before Boeing even got done. And they're in their extended contracts now, extra contracts. Jeff Carmichael, hello. Yeah, that Starship 4 flight was freaking awesome. Rumor from Alien Space breaking. I just got off a call with Jared Isaacman, and the Polaris Dawn crew launch is now no earlier than July 12th. Dope. That's awesome. That is awesome. Dude, can we. That spacewalk is going to be some crazy good footage. That's going to be really cool to see. Here's another cool thing. There. Oh my gosh. Why can't I remember which number? I think this was the first one of his commercial missions. Might have been the second one. But do you guys remember Cyan Proctor, Dr. Cyan Proctor? I know her. I met her. I don't like know her, but she's an acquaintance. I met her through the ASU program. I never went to school there or anything, but I connected a couple of times with conferences whenever they had space stuff. And of course, I tried to go do tours there whenever they had something cool going on. And so I met her like a couple of years before that mission. I think I met her, I want to say it was 20, it might have been 2018 when I met her. It might have, no, I think it was 2017, somewhere in there, 2017, 2018. I met her. Um, you know, we had a couple of cool conversations. I think we even did a video interview for something. I don't remember what it was for. It might have been for something else. And then I didn't even know that she was selected for that. And then I just suddenly see her, for the weeks leading up to that launch. I'm like, holy crap, it's Cyan Proctor. I know her. So that's cool. So, you know, one of the few Arizonans who got to go to space. Apparently, Story Musgrave retired to Arizona, and I could have sworn I saw him once, but I wasn't 100% sure because it was just like a random place in public, so I didn't approach him. But anyway, feel sorry for everyday astronaut. I hope he gets another chance to go to space. Me too, man, because that was some mind blowing news when he was selected for the Deer Moon. Holy shit! Not gonna lie, I was a little envious. But that was crazy. And I have the feeling that he will. I would not be surprised at all if he's going to be on one of Jared Isaacson's missions. I would not be surprised. Let's just put it this way: every astronaut is definitely going to get some sort of consolation prize. I mean, that's just the universe. Carl Hanzo, hello. think Miyazawa is into immediate payoff activities now, like motor racing. Yeah, maybe. That could be true. Seems very eclectic. Like the whole thing was weird from to begin with. Like even just looking into that guy, it's like, wait, why? Why is he doing this? Why is he interested in this? Like, yeah, all the PR sounds nice and everything, but why is he doing this? Like, it never made sense to me. Jared Isaacman, that makes sense. That makes sense to me, but I don't know. Miyazawa, like the whole thing never made any sense to me. Maybe the whole thing was a scam to begin with. I wouldn't say a scam, but maybe it was like, you know, Elon and Miyazawa met at some billionaire club thing, and it was like a temporary thing. Like, hey, loan me this money, buy some tickets so that I can develop Starship really quickly, and I'll give you a refund whenever you want the money back. Or, you know, they renegotiated once the world economy started freaking out. Who knows? Who knows? That's behind the scenes stuff that we'll never know. But as far as Everyday Astronaut goes, he'll get a consolation prize. I'm sure of it, of some sort. Scott Manley covers launches and is good as it. Yes, he is. Yeah, Scott Manley is always great. That was one of my like favorite ones when we first rebranded to Tomorrow. Having Scott Manley on, that was right in like the heyday of all the Kerbal Space Program stuff. So Jonathan Jimenez, that's a name I recognize. Hello, buddy. How you doing? All right. Yeah. That wasn't Story Musgrave. That was Brian Cranston. Walter White. Maybe. Could have been. You know what? Yeah, you're right, Thomas Boleno. That was supposed to be the Crew Dragon, um, around the moon. Gray Dragon. We were calling it Gray Dragon for a little while, and I don't see any reason why that still couldn't happen. Like, we have a human capable commercial vehicle right now in SpaceX, and so far Jared Isaacman is the only one doing cool shit with that outside of NASA. I mean, SpaceX is pumping a lot of money into Starlink, and Elon's pumping a lot of money into all his other stuff. So I don't think that there's a lot of wiggle room, especially since it's all the focus on Starship, to do more with Dragon. They could do so much more with Dragon. So maybe we just need to get into a room, or we need to get in the ear of some of these billionaires and make Gray Dragon happen again. That would be cool. How crazy would it be if that's Everyday Astronaut's consolation prize? You still get to go. You're just going on Dragon now. I would do it. That'd be amazing. Yeah, I would do it. Absolutely. Renee Romden. I think that's how you say your name. I would absolutely go. I would be terrified. I would be terrified though. Like I get pretty nervous on just roller coasters. Like roller coasters are fun once you get going. It's that drop that I hate. I hate that drop. And I feel like the launch would feel like that drop. You know, even though it's the opposite physics, that dread and that terror that you feel for that first initial drop on a roller coaster, I feel like that's what the entire launch would be like. And that terrifies me, especially since I could die. There are no rails, could blow up at any time. But god damn it, that would be so awesome. And once getting into space, despite all the problems, like even my acquaintance Siam Proctor, like she had a great time, but she had a terrible time too because she got space sick and she was throwing up a lot and probably bringing down the vibes for everybody else. And you never want to be that person. So even if that happened to me, like I'd still want to do it. I'd still want to do it for sure. It'd be awesome if I could get a Blue Origin flight. You know, I'm on New Shepard. I feel pretty confident about that now. And if I can handle a New Shepard flight, then I can handle a Dragon flight or a Starship flight. I would 100% go. 100% though. Whew. Man, Miyazawa was just using rockets to pick up chicks. Maybe. Can you blame him? That's pretty cool. I don't know. Glad to hear you're doing well, Jonathan. Axiom 2, need more destinations. Yeah. I mean, there is some stuff. Gosh, it blows my mind that like Bigelow Aerospace is just gone and all these other guys have picked up the tech and are doing the inflatable balloons now and look like they've made more progress than the beam module and that they might actually be in a good position to do that. And makes me so sad. I really wonder what has happened. I mean, I know money, but I don't know. Robert Bigelow's into so much other crazy shit too that I always think like there's something else going on here. Did the aliens say no? Who knows? God, I hope there are aliens. Just wish I had proof. Yeah, Gray Dragon would be so much comfier than the ride the last guys had to take. Gray Dragon would be nice, especially if it was only like 3 or 4 and you had all that extra room in there. That would be super nice. And if that were the case, I think I would want to be on the bottom row. Like it'd be dope to be on the top row. Well, actually, no, I changed my mind. I want to be on the top row. I want to see what's going on. I want to see the numbers and just focus on that. Like if I'm in that state of terror during launch or during some sort of like rendezvous activity or something like that, I would just want to be able to hone in on the computer and on the freaking numbers and know what everything is. And I don't want to wonder. Like it's kind of morbid, but like if things are about to blow up, I want to know. Just so I know. I don't feel like that would give me peace. How about a space lottery instead of Powerball, Dragon Ball? That would be dope. We just gotta get the copyright. Oh man, how cool would it be if we could convince Toyotaro to make Dragon Ball artwork for the Dragon lottery? That would be amazing. God, this is what I miss. This is what I'm talking about with community. I miss this. You guys are already having a cool discussion here. This is great. Oh yeah, zero G flight, absolutely. I would do that. Matter of fact, I feel like I've had like teeny tiny feelings of that. My grandfather was a pilot. He was a pilot in the United States Air Force, and in his retirement years, he did have a small Cessna that he co-owned with another guy, and the two of them took turns taking it out just for fun, you know. And he took me and the other cousins and my siblings out and he would do some maneuvers, even though it was just a Cessna, to give us that kind of zero G experience. And freaky, it freaked me out as a 7-year-old. And we're only talking like I don't know, 3 to 5 seconds maybe, but yeah, zero G flight, 100 like no fear, anxiety at all. Even though I have a problem with heights. Yeah, Mast in Space. So many great companies passed along. Matter of fact, I have an interview that I did. Maston Space Systems got a new CEO so that Dave Maston could just focus on the technology. And God, I don't even remember his name now. But I met him at a conference in LA and I did a bunch of interviews there. And we only put out maybe 2 of them on tomorrow, and Ben pretty much said, whatever, I'm not interested. And then I never put them like permission to put them out on my own channel, and then I never did because I basically quit everything because I needed money and rent was due and had to get a real job. So that might be a good tie-in. I guess we should talk about where the hell I've been. Yep, beam is still attached. We know the tech still works. Genesis 1 and 2 are still on orbit and doing fine, apparently. All right, so here is the truth. The truth is, I actually got fired from Tomorrow, and it was my fault. I no called, no showed twice. Once in 2016, right before we did the Tory Bruno interview. I was supposed to conduct that interview, and the Tomorrow crew was even gonna fly me out to the studio so I can conduct that interview in person. Even though it ended up that he wasn't even able to be there in person, and he ended up calling in anyway. So it was fine. And Jared did a great job. He did a great job doing the interview and asked pretty much all the same questions that I was going to ask, except for like maybe one or two silly ones that I had like at the very end. I wanted to ask him about the old balloon Atlas and even Atlas 3 and see if there was any chance that they could bring that stuff back. And I'm sure the answer was no, but just to have like a fun what if conversation with Tori Bruno of, hey, if money wasn't an issue, would you bring back the old balloon tanks from the old Atlas 1? Atlas A, B, C, and D, G, D, E, and F. All those crazy ones. I built those ones so many times in Kerbal. But anyway, all was good. It was all good from that occurrence, but beginning of 2019, I no called, no showed again. The first time it happened, I didn't really have a good reason. I was out with my friends before. We were having a really good time, and I didn't want the night to end because I didn't really have many opportunities to get out with my old friends, and partied with them most of the night. And yeah, like a teenager, like a teenager. And no called, no showed. And I didn't no call, no show for the Tory Bruno. It was actually for like an episode or two before that. And I think they even, like, now that I'm thinking about it, they even put me like on a temporary leave. Like I wasn't on any episodes for like a month or two. I didn't ask for a break. They it's kind of like, hey, we're trying to do something here. Like, don't treat this like it's a bullshit job. The second time it happened in 2019, my grandmother died. And she was my grandmother on my dad's side. And my grandfather on my dad's side had already passed away in 2005. And just a simple message from me, get into our escape velocity Discord and just say, hey guys, my grandma died. I'm not going to be there on Saturday. Sorry. And they kind of had to fill in, figure it out that Saturday morning before they went live of, I guess Mike's not going to be here. Shit. And quickly do the cover for me doing the launch roundup and going from there. And I don't even know what the timeline was because there was a lot of drama. Like there was a lot of stuff. I ended up having to go up to my grandmother's house and as like a peacemaker type of thing to keep my aunts and uncles from fighting with each other, categorized and inventoried her estate and went through papers, found important documents, all that sort of stuff, and came up with a fair system so that we could distribute her stuff without getting lawyers involved and without having to go into courts, because there wasn't really a will or anything like that. And she didn't really have anything anyway. We're talking about a lady who lived in a double wide trailer in rural Arizona. My family's poor. Like, we've never had money. It's been my goal, like, my entire life. The most money my dad ever made when he was still working, he's disabled now and on Social Security. The most he ever made, I want to say it was like 2003, was $45,000 a year. And in my entire adult life, I've never made that amount of money in a year. I made more than that in my lifetime, but I've never made $45,000 in a year. And it's been pretty disheartening to see people in my generation bitching on, complaining about how, $150,000 doesn't cut it in bumfuck Idaho. What do you mean? Like, I've been making shit work for way less for decades. What do you mean? But then I'm not having money is the reason why I haven't been able to get married or get a house or have kids or any of that stuff that so many people are experiencing. Young people especially. Everyone who's under the age of 45, let's say, has been experiencing this. Probably actually more than that. Probably I would say even 55. A lot of Gen Xers out there who've been going through a lot of the same thing. So there was nothing for my family to fight over. We're literally talking about her personal belongings in a small little trailer. I don't know why I'm telling you all these personal details, but the next day, so my grandmother died Friday night. Saturday morning is the live show. Sunday, I get into the Discord to, first of all, I'll let everyone know, hey, I'm okay, I'm alive, and apologize for no call, no show. And I wasn't able to do that because I was kicked out of the Discord. And then I go trying to go to some of my other resources, and all of my Tomorrow accounts have been disabled. And I go to my email, and there is a very firm and final email from Jamie ending their relationship with me. And without digging it up and reading it to you, which I don't need to do. As I said, it was very firm. It was very final. He wasn't mean or anything like that. I mean, he was literally acting like a professional, doing something in the best interests of his company. And it's weird to call it a company, but it is. It is a company, in so to speak. He was paying us to do that. I think it was like $50 a live show. And then when we were doing the space pods, like 2016, 2015, he was paying us $100 per space pod. And we were getting to a point there where we were coming out with a new video every single day. We either had a space pod or some sort of little thing that was just like a whatever, like an after dark type of thing. And then the live show. So I was doing 3 a week. Jared was doing 1, and Lisa was doing 1. And gosh, what was her name? We had Ariel Waldman for a little while, doing some space pods for us as well in the early days of the space pods. And as I said, he was giving us $100 per space pod. And he would give us assets like, here's the Tomorrow logo, and here's the fonts that you should use whenever you credit a photo or a video. And if you're not crediting a photo and a video, start doing that. so that it would all, and we were all using the same version of like the Adobe Cloud, Photoshop and Premiere and all that sort of stuff. So everything did look the same, even though we were producing it pretty much independently. And we did kind of have a list of like, here's what I'm going to talk about for this space pod. Here's what I'm going to do for this one. And, there wasn't really a approval process. It was always thumbs up from the Higginbothams. And it was always just more to make sure that like me and Jared didn't make a space pod about the exact same thing without knowing it. How embarrassing would that be if we both make a video about a particular Atlas V launch? Mine comes out on Thursday and his comes out on Friday. Like that would have been embarrassing. It was more just for that. So it was very much, kind of an independent thing. So between me doing 3 space pods a week and the live show, like that was pretty good money for a little while. And that was just a side gig. Like, I still had a full-time job on top of that. And I was getting a little bit of money from my YouTube, mainly from when I started a Patreon for my YouTube channel. Because I haven't made a dime on Google AdSense since like 2013, 2014. I got clicked bombed by flat earthers. For those of you who've been around YouTube for a long time, you know what that means. Back when they had the little pop-up ads that you could just minimize. And even now with the video ads, I think that this is still could still be a thing. But if people click on the ads, you're supposed to get more money. And if the same IP address is clicking on the same ad 100 times, that's obviously like some sort of fraud. And YouTube sees that as a red flag. And unfortunately, my channel's always been at a low enough level that I don't think it's ever been reviewed by a human. Everything has always been through automated bots for when you get creator support on the creator end of YouTube. And I just lost my train of thought. My Google AdSense is banned permanently. And it's not banned for this channel. It's not like I could just start a new YouTube channel and start collecting ad revenue money by building that up. No, it's tied to me and my social security number. So if I ever want to make ad money through Google, just Google, not just YouTube, but all of Google, all of Alphabet. If I ever want to make ad money, I would have to give that to somebody else. Like someone else would have to do it on my behalf because I am permanently banned from AdSense unless I can get a human to review it, which as of now, I try every other year to reappeal it. As of now, almost 10 years later, I still can't get anyone to look at it and review it and get me reappealed and reinstated to the AdSense program. So all in all, almost 10 years of making videos on YouTube, I think I got a single $100 check because they only pay you out in increments of $100. Especially for small YouTubers, you get like 25, 35 cents a week, maybe. So it took a long time to build up to that first $100 check. And before I got my second one, my account was disabled permanently for life and tied to my social security number. So yeah, it's not just a matter of starting a new channel. Otherwise, I would have done that years ago. Anyway, before I move on, let me catch up with some of you guys' comments here. I really think Elon's success with SpaceX really just popped the cork, and if he hadn't succeeded, new space wouldn't exist. I completely agree. So yeah, say what you want. None of this shit would be happening right now if not for them. Thanks, Grubby. Oh shit. Ozzy Bogan. Yeah, Bogan. What the fuck? Why? First of all, Ozzy Bogan, I'm I'm sorry to hear that your mom died, especially on Christmas. But is it just because he's your stepfather? Is that it? He's your stepfather, and you and any of your siblings aren't his kids, and so he's cutting you out so that whenever he dies, he doesn't have to share any of that with you, or you don't get any of it right now, or something like that. What a dick! What a dick! I'm sorry for that too. Renee, dude, own my own company. You went through a trauma. Don't blame yourself. You had to do what you had to do. That is your family. Family first. You withdraw. Yeah. I'd like to think that I tried to keep things together, but I really didn't. Like, as soon as it was all over, everyone stopped talking to each other. Some of the cousins started talking to each other, but I got in such a low place in my life that I kind of ghosted them too. I don't know if Terrence is still around. I think Terrence might have dropped off. Is there a way to see? No, there's not a way to see that. That's okay. It's like the virtual world in that BSG series. So that's right in the way of this. Can I get that out of there? Sorry, my screen. Series 9 game. You can never go back. Yep. Yep. Some of you may or may not remember, but also at the end of 2018 and in 2019, I got involved with a project called Borderless Labs. Thank you, NFO guys. I appreciate that, bro. I got involved with a company called Borderless Labs. It's not even a company; it was more like a pet project that, like, I don't want to talk shit, but they're not really a thing. They might be now, kinda, because it seems like he's doing stuff. It's this dude Mac Macaulay, who has an awesome vision, and me and him were on the same page. Me and him became friends instantly. He was just somebody from the community who was doing well financially and wanted to start a philanthropic project to help people from his native country, which is Jordan in the Middle East, to have opportunities to be able to work in space, science, technology, um, and just have a little bit of access to things that they might not have had access to. And the idea was with Borderless Labs was to literally create like a makerspace lab. Uh-oh. My uh-oh. Okay, it seems okay. Seems like it just dropped out there for a second, but it seems maybe okay. Let me know if I'm still there. Did I drop out? Hmm. Maybe just a weird thing on my end. Seems to be okay though. Um, the idea though was with Borderless Labs was to set up a little maker space that had 3D printers and computers, drawing rooms, and just a whole bunch of materials so that you could do experiments and engineering projects. The idea being is that some of these kids on their own could do a project that might land them an internship. We're talking or a scholarship to a college. A lot of them were minors, in high school age. And a lot of these kids, it wasn't, yeah, he wanted to do this for good. I'm glad that this is still going. I'm just still talking. Good, good. Glad to hear. Um, it wasn't really for the Jordanians. It was more for the refugees. And there was a very large Syrian refugee camp from all the stuff going on in Syria. There was also Palestinian refugee camps, and we went to a couple. We went to both the Syrian ones and we went to the Palestinian ones. And I never talked about it because it all kind of fell apart. But it was a incredible experience. He flew me out first to Virginia for me and him to go see an Antares launch together for fun, just for me and him. And yeah, I took some video, and I think that I uploaded the video about that here to YouTube back then, and it was dope. But it was just for fun, and we bonded over that. He picked me up from the airport, and we drove the whole way there. I think that was it Washington or I forget now exactly the details, but it was a couple-hour drive to get up to Wallops Island, Virginia, where they were launching the Antares from, and pitched me on his whole plan and his whole idea that he was going to essentially bankroll, and helped me get my visa and took me out to Jordan. We didn't just go to Jordan, we also went to Egypt to do a little bit of sightseeing there. I got to see the pyramids and some other really cool shit there. Um, he also had a brief God, I just forgot what the term is. Uh, Stopover when you have to wait several hours when there's an unexpected delay in your flights. Uh, Carryover. Why can't I think of that word right now? God. Um, we had a several hour flight delay in Paris getting back to the United States, so we got to go out for a little while and at least go and see the Eiffel Tower real quick. And god damn it, is Paris a shithole? Man, trash everywhere. Like I thought our homelessness problem was bad. God, Paris is layover. Thank you. It's called a layover. Um, Paris is a shithole. Like the park around the Eiffel Tower was nice for the photos, but god damn, there was so much shit everywhere. I was pretty shocked. Anyway, tangent. Um, Going to meet some of these kids that were in the refugee camps and presenting this plan. We even met with we didn't meet the crown prince himself, but we met with the crown prince's organization. This is the crown prince who's going to take over after the current king of Jordan dies, which hopefully isn't anytime soon. Um, and this guy, the crown prince, is a big supporter of all the STEM stuff. And Jordan, like right around the time that we took this trip, was right around the time that they had built their first satellite. Just a CubeSat, just one of your cheap CubeSats, and they were able to get a rideshare deal on one of the SpaceX flights. I don't even remember which one, but I made a YouTube video about that as well. It's called the JY1 Sat. And the Crown Prince just recorded a simple radio message that would broadcast when the CubeSat was flying over Jordan. And I think the first flyover, they tuned into that broadcast and played it over the national radio. So pretty cool. And we basically were given the go ahead that, like, if you can get the funds and everyone at the UN and all the relief agencies are cool with it, go for it, man. We just got to make sure that we follow the laws and we don't give these kids access to actual rockets. We got to follow ITAR and all that sort of stuff. um, I don't think that Borderless Labs was a scam, but in order to pay for the first lab that we wanted to build, we started a crowdfunding campaign. And he told me about an advertising agency that he had spent several thousand, I want to say upwards of $45,000 to do like a real ad campaign. And we were collecting footage for that ad campaign. And he even did some of the cameo things, like when that first came out, before people even knew that was even a thing. So I thought he'd actually gotten celebrities, and no, it was just the cameo thing where you pay them like $100 to say your little 30-second script. Um, but I thought that it was all for real. And launch day of our advertising campaign comes around, and there's no ads. No Facebook ads, there's no Google ads, there's no video ads, there's no radio ads, there's no TV ads. None of it. And I'm like, what the fuck? What happened to the advertising agency? And he never gave me a straight answer. I don't know what happened. Don't know if they ever existed at all. But suddenly, the crowdfunding campaign was all on our shoulders. And when I say our, I mean my shoulders, because at that time, he didn't want to show his face or like really use his name. Um, he since has and has been a speaker at different conferences and has been a big supporter and proponent for space flight in the Arabic world. And I think he's done a couple of things in Dubai. And I don't really know what and where the progress is. I haven't really wanted to look into it because I quit my day job to work for him full time and just a flat rate for the whole month for me to, in order for me to not just work for him for this project, but to also do my YouTube channel full time and to try to do some of the ideas that I wanted to do with tomorrow um, to make it even better. And if they weren't down for it, then to do it on my channel. Um, uh, um, I just lost my train of thought again. So we quickly scrambled. I quickly put out a couple of videos, and we were able to get maybe just a little bit more support than what my own Patreon had, which, when you compare it to others, wasn't a lot, but it was a big deal to me. I think at its peak, I was getting like an extra $100 a month or per episode. I don't even remember how I had it set up now. I think it was per month. Yes, it was per month because my last video on my channel here was January of 2019. And um, I think I shut it down in April or May of 2019 because I was having so much stress and anxiety. And I had pretty much just gotten to the point where I was just like, I need to take a break for a couple of months for quite a while. I am burnt out and I need to shut this Patreon down and not be charging people money when I know I'm not going to be putting out anything. And I just saw a comment. Yeah, if you reopen your Patreon, I would like to support you. Thank you, Randolph. Um, I would like to open it back up. Um, I'm not 100% sure if I will. I should, but I feel really weird about taking people's money. And it's not taking, like, it's support. Like, you guys want to help, and it's a lot more normal now. Like, it's a lot more normalized. There's a lot more streamers, and, you know, it's one of those things where I've had to argue with myself of, yeah, okay, you might only have access to shitty equipment right now, but, you know, some of the things that I brought to light and just my points of view and things like that, like there is still like a place, and I have to, fight with those inner demons that are always saying the negative stuff to convince myself. So I do want to open up my Patreon again because as of right now, there's no other way that you guys could help me, and I'd have to do a lot of stuff too because the bank account that I had set up for that has since been closed, so I'd need to reset up a whole bunch of stuff. Um, but this has kind of been a good experience for me. I mean, shoot, I've been streaming now for almost 2 hours. There's 27 of you in chat. Oh my god! Hi everyone. Um, so yeah, I'm surprised, and yeah, I would like to do this a lot more. Just have some casual chats. I'm kind of talking about a lot of personal stuff right now. I want to get back to the space stuff, but um, I do want to talk about some of this stuff. to you guys. So, um, end of 2018, I quit my day job to work for Borderless Labs full time. And what that was supposed to mean was me making my YouTube videos, me doing the Tomorrow thing, and me making videos for his channel, the Borderless Labs channel, talking about our projects, talking about what we wanted to do, and then kind of handing it over to the team that we were starting to curate over in Jordan, who were going to do, like, the idea was we would have the same topic, and then I would do the topic in English, and we would have another guy do it in Arabic, and then we would have another guy, or excuse me, lady, who was doing it in Tamil, and another lady who was doing Hindu. And the whole idea, because I'm a big believer in that spaceflight brings everyone together. And I've been shocked, like my entire time with this, most people who watched my channel weren't in the United States, from everyone else around the world. And that always blew my mind. And I've always been of the opinion that spaceflight brings everyone together and has the potential to bring about world peace and make us forget about all of our bullshit and come together. And literally everyone who I've ever met who I've been able to have an in-depth conversation about spaceflight with, nothing but a positive experience. Even though I know this person has some ideologies wildly different to mine that we would fight about, possibly even coming to getting to violence about. But we can chill and get excited together and nerd out about spaceflight. Like, there's something magical about that. And I still believe that to this day. Um, and he's still doing his thing. I don't think that he's gotten to where he wanted to go with it, but he also kind of ran out of money for it as well. He used a little bit too much of his personal finances and was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, I'm digging myself into a hole here," and had to back up. But wasn't completely honest about our crowdfunding campaign. And when it all came down to me, and we were only able to generate a couple $100 for something that we needed over $100,000 for. That was panic mode. And he then announced that he couldn't even pay me my monthly fee for the stuff that I was doing for him. And what it ended up being was a lot of fucking meetings and phone calls. This guy, I love him. I still consider him a friend, even though I haven't talked to him in years. I would still be friendly with him. I don't ever want to do business with him again, but I would love to catch up with him, see how he's doing, and be friends with him. But I'll never do business with him again. He would take up like 8-9 hours of my day on phone calls. And it would be like 3 hours here, 3 hours here, 3 hours here. And I'd be like, dude, and I'd have the whole thing, like I had a whole script like ready to go. Like I'm literally at the stage of production during the YouTube video production stage where I'm ready to film and produce the video, and he wouldn't get off the damn phone. And I, for whatever reason, wouldn't, because he was my boss, I guess, wouldn't stand up for myself and be like, bro, shut the fuck up. You're gonna let me work or not? Sorry to curse, but that's how I really talk. Like, I feel like I've also been pretending a lot. Like this, that's how I really talk. This is how I really talk, guys. In case you didn't know. I remember some of the space scams, the Giga space station and Mars one. Oh my god. That Giga space station one pissed me off so bad. When they were talking about their lottery that they wanted to do for that shit, it infuriated me. I was like, bro, you're talking about the numbers. The numbers. You ever heard of the fucking mafia? You ever heard of the mob? This is the type of shit that people have died over and that we made illegal for a reason. And you want to bring it back? You have any idea what kind of Pandora's box that would open? Because in order to go forward with their plan, they literally had to change the law, which that law has been changed in a lot of places because We now have legalized gambling. Do we have advertisements for it? Do your sports gambling, everybody. That's legal now. What the fuck? Gangster shit, man. That shouldn't be legal at all. I wonder how much money has been wasted in that. How many Apollo programs could we have funded in the now legal sports gambling over the last 4 years? Makes me sick. I'm sorry. Spacemike is PG. Going dark, Mike. I'm sorry. But that's another thing. Like, if I do this again, I want to do it honestly. I don't want to pretend. I don't want to put on a character because nothing burns out a YouTuber faster than being a character, being a personality. And it's not like it was all fake. I feel like it was like 20% fake. Most of it was real, but I did censor myself a lot, try not to curse, try to be professional, especially when I'm talking to some, like an astronaut or someone who works at NASA or something like that. But um, yeah, if I do this again, I want to do it honestly. Burndy, what's up, dude? So good to hear from you. Didn't catch the stream in time, so hopefully you'll have the VOD up so I can catch up on stuff later. Absolutely, yes. This, I literally decided to go live like 15 minutes before I went live and clicked on the buttons and got to the page that I needed to be on to do it with just my webcam because the computer that I'm working with is not great. And when I try to pull up OBS to do like a somewhat proper stream, or even just share my screen so like we could go through articles or I could share pictures with you, just something nice, it slows the hell down and crashes and doesn't want to work. It's not OBS, it's this computer. I mean, this thing is it's running on its last legs. It doesn't even have its battery in right now. It's just going off of its freaking AC motor. But it's what I got because all of my shit is still in Arizona. All of my shit, all my equipment is still in a storage unit in Arizona. I've only gotten to like part of the story. Holy crap. So Borderless Labs, ran out of money and I had quit my day job for it. And like literally like this all happened in the space of like a month. Borderless Labs ran out of money. My grandmother died and I needed to intervene in family fighting and I got fired from Tomorrow. And my only source of income was my Patreon, which at that time was only $100 a month, maybe $120 a month. And most of that, actually, the biggest contributor at that time was Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, because I was doing some articles for him on his website. He was trying to get NASA accreditation and he was trying to build up, I am a real news agency. I have a real thing going on here. So I was just taking my launch reports and maybe putting a little bit more detail and stuff about it and just throwing that up as an article on his website. No video, no nothing like that. I already had the script. I already had the information written out. I just had to put it into something sensical that wasn't just a bullet point. So that was cool. That was a cool gig, and I wouldn't mind, doing that again for him if he had the budget and the need for it. But yeah, Burndy, you'll have to go back. I started talking about what happened with Tomorrow somewhere around like the hour mark. Yeah, I got fired from Tomorrow. This is my first time talking about this. I might like. I've been wanting for like a year and a half now to make a video about this, to explain what happened and to apologize to all of you for quitting because of depression, basically. Like that's the root of me not uploading videos. Depression, anxiety, and survival pills. So I quickly had to get a job, real quick. Got a job, and then the place where I was living, got kicked out of there for no reason, no reason at all. Landlord was selling. And if he had waited, if that idiot had waited just 6 months till after the pandemic started, that fool probably would have gotten twice as much money as what he sold for it. But kicked us out, like violated our rental agreement to kick me and my girlfriend out. And so that was fun to be job hunting and apartment hunting at the same time. That wasn't anxiety ridden at all to be unemployed and homeless at the same time, which technically I right now I kind of still am. Started working a bunch of BS jobs, whatever I could find, and I eventually started working for the cannabis industry for a while. That's actually another passion of mine. Um, Sorry, boys, not PG at all, but I don't know even how much of this I can talk about before YouTube will end the stream automatically for talking about things like this. But I was working in the cannabis industry professionally for uh, 2.5 years. Some of it was on the customer service selling side, and we're talking about legal because in Arizona we had medical and recreational. We're talking about legal here. Um, Fuck it. Did lots of illegal shit long before that too, way back in the day. So I had experience. And then I went to the growing side and was doing really well for that. And I had an opportunity to go and basically be the lead grower for a new operation in the state of Maine, which is in the northeast of the United States, right at the tippy top mitten thing that near Newfoundland, Canada. Beautiful up there. Oh my God. Completely different than the desert that I grew up in. And even the forests of northern Arizona is all ponderosa pine, which, if you're not familiar with that, really big. It's got this really like scaly bark that has awesome sap, but it just takes over and chokes out everything. And the forest floor is covered in pine needles. There's no undergrowth. So going to an area that has a huge amount of different tree brush species, all this different foliage. Like it was just mind blowing, and it like was spiritually good for me and good for my soul to be in that much nature. It's cold as hell. I'd never dealt with that much snow before. I'd only seen like maybe a foot of snow in northern Arizona before, and I was digging myself out of 6 feet of snow, clearing the driveway so I could pull out of there. But the whole thing that I went up there for, if this is even still alive, if you guys are still there, um, that fell apart too. That thing ran out of money too. And I was staying in somebody's camper RV that they were allowing me to use. But when the business fell apart, like they needed it back because, they had to take hits and losses from that business as well. So homeless and unemployed once again. And this time, it's not just me. I have a fiance now and her 2 dogs. And we moved to Ohio because that's where her family is and that's where her family's from. And I am talking about way too many personal things, but whatever. I feel like sharing it with you. And Ohio is a weird place, man. No offense to like Mike Kokyansik, I think is how you say your name. I don't know. Sorry, bro. Yeah, Maine was a culture shock, but it was nice. It was a good culture shock. Everyone was friendly as hell. It was so nice. It was so nice. And I feel like I reconnected with like aspects of myself that I wasn't even aware of. Like I'm super into woodworking now. I don't have tools, or at least not a whole lot of tools. I just have beginner tools, but I love woodworking shit and especially joinery. Have y'all seen Japanese joinery? Like how like Japanese pagoda temples are put together with no nails. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. They use sacred geometry and it's so like crazy and complex, but yet it's superior than the stuff that we're building today. And even England, even the UK, you have cob homes and timber frame homes that were built 700 years ago that are still being lived in. And meanwhile, we have $500,000 homes that blow over at the first freaking storm here in America. And like, I'm never buying, like, I not only can I never afford one of those houses, I don't want one of those pieces of junk. I want to build my own house now, even though it'll take me forever. Like, I am really on the path now where I am trying to buy a piece of land somewhere, but I have no money, so it's not happening yet. But I want to buy a piece of land somewhere, a raw piece of land somewhere, hopefully with a boatload of trees, start cutting down my own trees, milling my own wood, and build my own house, and it'll be perfect, and it'll be beautiful, and it'll be something that'll stand for 100 years that my great great grandchildren can enjoy. Like, that's my dream now. Is that I'm trying to get away from all the craziness that our society is doing, but I still want to be involved with all the futuristic stuff too. Like, I still want to be involved with space flight and do this YouTube channel again and do a lot of the things that I always had wanted to do on the Tomorrow Show, but we never got a chance to, either because of difference of opinion or wasn't right for what we had going on at the time. It should be its own show. And, you know, I keep putting off doing this because, you know, bills are due, gotta eat, gotta have somewhere to live. And so I've just been focusing on things that, you know, are a guarantee, which is, you know, for someone in my situation with a abysmal credit score, I can't get loans. I can't even get a freaking credit card with a 30% APR. So I just got to go with what I've got. And I'm okay with that, and I can make things work. But I kept putting off doing this because of money and because of all those things. And, you know, it's been, you know, the universe has been forcing it down my throat for the past several months. Good, like, year and a half. Soft Serenity, Shalia, you're here. Hi. Hi. First one I've done in freaking forever. And like I was saying, I just decided to do it out of nowhere. Rex Kruger is a Cleveland local. I have seen some of his videos. I would love to apprentice with that dude. Yeah, you guys got some cool shit going on in Norway. I want to build one of your guys' tree houses. Like, I've been learning a lot of your guys' techniques, and here's something that's been crazy to me. I might lose some of y'all right here because this might sound like some woo stuff, but as I've been learning and doing some of the word working stuff, and I haven't done much, like, I really haven't. It's mostly been like learning and then just trying a few things and being like, oh, and it's clicking. And it feels like I'm channeling my ancestors or something. And I started, like, the property that we were at in Maine, where we were staying at, where the RV was. I just started going around and doing a technique called raising the crown, where you cut off all the dead branches from otherwise healthy trees. And it's to promote growth and prevent if any of those branches try to come back to life, because bottom feeders, like the bottom of the plant, bottom of a bush, bottom of a shrub, bottom of a tree, that's where the water and nutrients go first, even if it's a dead limb. And some of this I didn't even know yet. But if you cut it at just the right spot, a little after a little nub, little notch, you can cut off these dead limbs. Best time to do it is in winter, but you really can do it any time of year as long as you do the cut in the right spot without damaging or killing the tree. And I just started doing that without actually knowing the purpose or the techniques or what the safe cuts were supposed to be, I started doing them automatically. And it was awesome. I could do it like the days off that we had where we weren't working. I was out there cutting dead limbs and assembling it for firewood and burning it, and it felt so good. It felt so good, so good. So like, if I ever get the chance to go to space and have some crazy adventures, I am very much looking forward to retiring to a little plot of trees where I can do woodworking because that shit enriches my soul. And I'm so glad that I was able to discover that and find that out about myself. Um, and so yeah, my plan is now to get a little piece of property somewhere, build my own home, start doing a little bit of farming. I want to do like supplemental stuff. Like I'd like to grow my own potatoes, grow my own lettuce. If I can do that, then maybe grow some tomatoes and like microgreen stuff like herbs, for spices and things like that. Maybe grow some peppers, like bell peppers. But like I don't want to be like a farmer, but just like a couple of things and then still, buy everything else. Maybe get some animals. Like I really don't want to do much more than chickens and like dogs and cats and stuff. Um, I really don't want to like I don't want to be necessarily one of those homesteader guys, but I do want to be a homesteader and I want to be able to have a futuristic homestead. I want to have Tesla power walls and solar energy everywhere. I want to have those freaking awesome electrostation machines where you can essentially pull water straight out of the air. Like even if I'm in the Arizona desert somewhere, like I've got some plans, I've got some methods where I'll be good. That's going to take a while. It's going to take me a couple of years, but I can do it. And I can do a lot of it myself. Yeah, livestock needs way too much attention. That's why I'm like, just chickens. And even that, like, chickens suck. My wife's taking care of chickens before, so she knows. She knows. I'm like, chickens are assholes, dude. This is why I have zero problem eating them. They suck. Like that's like my hard limit unless like I can be super successful and have time to do anything else extra. That's like my limit. And definitely not right away, like after I built a house. Dude, I would love to make some log cabins on the moon. What I would love is to genetically engineer a tree that can grow in the lunar soil and then make a log cabin out of that. Oh yeah, and I'll make it like grow super quickly or something because it's got no atmosphere, so it can just get that 100% chlorophyll thing going on. Get some of these, get some shit going like 100 feet tall, and it could just like a few weeks. That would be amazing. Like honestly, if we could do that, like that'd be my plan. Have a bunch of plants or shrubs or algae or just some sort of crazy stuff that could grow in the lunar soil and just see the entire damn moon. And we might be able to generate a small little tenuous atmosphere. Not anything crazy that we could breathe or anything like that, but something that would definitely like assist with maybe more mining operations and some of the cool stuff that is available on the moon. I would love that. That would be amazing. And China is already kind of doing some of that. They've been experimenting. That's been some side payloads on the Chang'e 5 and Chang'e 6 that just launched recently. Chang'e 6 launched from the moon. We can add launch from the moon onto the ticker. um, yeah, they did a couple of plants that they brought, and apparently it worked. At least it did on the Chang'e 5. It's too early to tell for the Chang'e 6 because that literally just landed. But there's some cool shit. There's some cool stuff. Seki, it's been great to have you on. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good to see you again. And everybody, if you're willing, I would really love to have you guys record just a little 30, 60-second clip for me, either audio or video and audio, whatever you're comfortable with. Send it to my email, futurespacemike@gmail.com. And I'd love to put it together and start a community. It'd be awesome to have that community like you used to be able to get on YouTube back in the late 2000s. I want that again. So let's do that here. We can. World doesn't make sense. We can do whatever we want. So let's do that. I would like that a lot. Yeah, NFO guides. You get it. You get it. Oh man. So yeah, it's kind of a different plan now. Like in a almost a weird way. I literally have no other choice. I can't. I can't afford the way things are now. But I can afford to get a cheap piece of land and build a house myself before I am, well, my body is still healthy. I can do that. Grubby, are you heading out too? Oh man. SpaceX launching in a second. Oh shit, they are. I need to move this because I keep like missing this. How do I get this to pop out? I used to be able to pop this out. There we go. Put it out over here so I can see. Thank you, YouTube. Yeah, I can't believe I've already been streaming for 2.5 hours. I should wrap this up here. There have been a couple other challenges as well. A few other traumatic things that happened. Which I don't need to get into that now because that'll just be going forever. And I've already taken up too much time. So let's keep talking about positive things. And yeah, that's damn it. See, I need to get a good computer again so that I can run good streaming software. So that, like, how dope would it be if I could just pull that up real quick and we could wrap this up by watching a bit of the Starlink launch together. And that's something else that bothers me that I was starting to talk about and then got off on a tangent when I was talking about we owe Jamie a lot for all the beautiful footage, is that SpaceX has kind of achieved the goal that Jamie used to talk about all the time of making space boring. And I hate it. Don't make space boring. This is the most exciting, cool, maybe important shit that humanity is doing. Don't make it boring. I would love to see New Orleans style parades marching with the rocket to the launch site. I would like to see the type of stuff that Russia does, the fanfare that Russia does, even as small as it is, where they have the group, the engineers, they march with the rocket on its railroad as it's being wheeled out to the pad. Sometimes they play music. Sometimes they will have celebrities there. They always have a cookout, and it's awesome. They have their priests who do the blessings and whatever. I'm cool with that though. Like, bring the priests, bring the Buddhists, bring everybody, I would like to see that stuff and have that sort of thing of like, I want all of that. I want all of that cool stuff. So, yeah. Uh, that's what I want to see for launches, even a Starlink launch. Like, I wish it was a party every single time. That's what I wish it was. I know some people are annoyed by it. I know some people get annoyed. I was seeing some dude that I respect complain about the people cheering during the Starship 4 launch, jumping up and down, and I'm like, screw you, dude. Like, I want to see that every single time. Like, don't crap on them for being excited for something that is amazing and that no one has done before. Don't hate on that. And you're a supporter. Like, you love this just as much as they do. You just don't have to feel the need to act like a child and jump up and down and scream. So terrible. Like, dude, that's messed up. Don't hate on that. Don't hate on that. I want to see it be a party every single time. Make each launch a party. That would kill my liver. Well, we don't have to drink every single time. We can still have a good time. My email is future Spacemike. Here, why don't I just type it into the chat? futurespacemike@gmail.com. I also miss the days where all the YouTubers, you could go to their contact info, and there was usually some sort of business email that you could reach them to. And now you kind of can't really do that. And there's no messaging system anymore, so there's no way to DM other creators or even users. Like, you can't DM your favorite YouTuber. You have to go on one of the other things. You have to find their Twitter or their Facebook or their freaking Weibo or whatever. And I hate that. Wow, thanks, guys. Wow. Yeah, Issa Ariane launches. They got a champagne and after party. Like, I want more of that. I want that. Even if we just have to do it ourselves. Like, if that's what our community becomes, is we're just the people that we're the aerospace people who party because of this stuff. I'm down with that. That would be fun. That would be fun. I would love to have like DJs and music competitions and like cool shit. Like, how cool would it be if we had like a fan made mission patch and we show off, everyone's submissions for, the pre-launch party or whatever. Like, that's the type of stuff I want to see. I want more of that. So yeah, you're right. I should just launch up my Patreon again, but I got to figure out some stuff on it. I need to link the accounts that I do have. Like, they're not even proper bank accounts. It's like a Stride. It's not Stride, but it's like a Stride. It's been working, and like for the random jobs and gigs that I have been getting, it's been working for direct deposit, but like it's not real. And I need some real stuff before I set up all that stuff. But yeah, I'm feeling that too. It's getting time to crash. It's getting close to 10 p.m. for me here, and for you as well. And I didn't really go through. I wish and see all this talk about community, and I didn't do a roll call. But yeah, let's do this again. Let's do this again really soon. Would it be too much if I were to do this again, like maybe tomorrow, but maybe Sunday? Definitely Sunday, because I want to start doing this again. And right now, this is it. It's just going to be this webcam and this built-in microphone. I can try to do a couple of things to do just like the basic OBS with screen sharing, so that I can at least go through like articles and pictures with you and stuff like that. But yeah, I will put out a little post. Let's say, oh geez, what would be a good time even? Like maybe 20 UTC on Sunday. How does that sound to everybody? I'll think about it. I'll put a post out. But yeah, I'd like to do this again on Sunday. And for me, it would be my evening time. When would that be over in UK? Okay. Yeah, minus. Okay. So that probably wouldn't be too bad. All right. So for right now, I'm going to say 20 UTC. And I'll figure out some stuff that I need to figure out. And relaunch my Patreon. And let's do this again. Next time I'll have like maybe somewhat of a program, at least have a handful of bullet points that we will discuss. and we'll figure out a way. I really want to figure out a way to have you guys call in. I might set up one of those like fake number type of things so that we could do even just call in, if not setting up some sort of voice call. But then again, the more things that I have open, the less this computer needs to work. But sounds like some of you might be able to help me with that. So yeah, let's freaking do this, man. Probably haven't heard this in a while, but Ad Astra to the stars. Let's keep moving on, onwards and upwards. Well, things will be okay. And there's so much stuff that I've missed to talk about, and so many cool things that are still going to happen that we need to talk about. So I think that that's a good place to end things for now. Thank you for everyone for joining, and I'll see you again real soon.